Okay. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Now he not in yet.
Oh, okay.
He's coming through the computer link, so he'll be able to see the screen. Once he connects his audio, he'll be good. Oh yeah, he's there. He's in.
Okay.
You guys got
Hey,
to
bro.
excuse me because I'm also at work, but I just didn't want to miss this conversation.
Oh, you said you at work?
Yes, sir. I go on break in like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you just gonna listen in? You're not gonna be able to talk at all?
Uh, I'll try to chime in as much as I can.
Okay.
But
So I don't. Yeah. So we were just discussing, the virgin birth, looking at Matthew 1. What are your thoughts on the virgin birth?
does anybody have headers in their Bible, like before the
Headers
chapter start? What is the header above Matthew 1 in y'all Bible?
above Matthew 1.
Yeah, what's the
The-
header before the chapter starts?
I'm guessing it probably says the genealogy or the generations of Christ. Depends on the
Right, right,
Bible.
right.
Right.
So, I mean, my whole standpoint is that it wouldn't have mentioned it being the genealogy of Christ if he didn't come from the seed or the bloodline from Joseph.
And that's the interesting part because we see a whole genealogy of fathers begetting sons. And when the mothers mention the father still begets the son, it'll just say, like in verse 5, it'll
But
say,
there's,
and Salmon begat, and
but there's,
Salmon begat Boot. Let me just finish it real quick.
I'm sorry.
Um, it'll say, and Solomon begat Booz of Rahab. So when the mother's mentioned, the father still begets the child. But when we get to verse 16, it only says that Jesus was born from Mary, and it has no connection to Joseph whatsoever.
Okay, so there are other verses that include or that pronounces Jesus Christ as Joseph's son. Have you seen those verses?
No, what are you talking about?
All right, so we can go to John chapter 6, verse 42.
Okay, yeah, let's go there. Host, you want to pull it up? Okay, so Brother Love sharing the screen right now. We pulling it up. Yeah, I usually I myself I like to stick to the genealogy and the birth narrative of Christ, because I would think that that would establish it more than any other
Then
testimony.
it
But
being
let's just see what you
immaculate,
brought before us.
then it being immaculate, right?
Yeah, it attests that that Joseph wasn't involved in a sexual way with Mary, that Christ had no earthly father.
But that doesn't. If I got another verse to precept along with my point, it's like right after we finish reading this one.
Okay.
Uh, somebody reading. I'm kind of busy at work. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Brother Love, can you read? I'm driving right now, brother.
Okay, I'll try to read it. John 6, verse 42. It says, "And they said, is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know?"
Right. And who's
So,
saying this?
uh, This is basically the Jews murmuring when they were talking about Jesus in the conversation. Right?
Is murmuring a good thing?
It depends.
Has it? So you got a precept that shows murmuring is something good?
No, they don't have to say murmuring is good. But murmuring,
So what?
you saying? So you saying that? So basically, it was just a rumor thing. There's
Not a
other verses
rumor,
that,
because a murmuring is something that somebody does when they're offended. So if you keep reading in this, and down I think in verse 51, Jesus said, "Why murmur ye among yourselves?" Speaking to his disciples, he says, "Have I offended you?" So he's saying, like, "Hey, did I offend you in anything I said? Like, why are you murmuring?" So these Jews are the ones that are murmuring. But check out in verse 41. If you scroll up, host, just to verse 41, the reason why they say this. Check this out. I think I vaguely remember this context. So let me just read it real quick. Just scroll up just a little bit more. I can't see that top line. The Jews then murmured at him because he said, "I am the bread which came down from heaven." So, brother, do you believe Jesus is the bread which came down from heaven?
that
Okay.
yes.
So the Jews murmured because he said that, meaning that they were offended when he said that. So their response after being offended at this saying, they said, "Isn't his mother, don't we know his mother? Isn't he the son of Joseph? So how can this be? How can he come from heaven if he has two earthly parents?" That's their objection.
Okay. Give me just a
You see
second.
it?
Bring up. I'm sorry, I have to do something.
Okay, I think he's doing something.
Just a second. I gotta take care of it.
Yeah, no, you good, bro.
But no, to be more substantiate my point, I would like to go to Hebrews 2 and 16 to better further explain that.
Okay. Yeah, let's go there. Hebrews 2 and 16. Host, I don't know if you're busy right now. If not, I'll just, when I get stopped over here, I'll pull it up on my phone. Yeah, it look like host is busy. Um, yeah, so I've read Hebrews 2 and 16, and I've read Hebrews 2. I literally just read it the other day. If you want to just give me a little summary of the point you want to make, some of the things said over there.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah. You lose connection?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was saying I've read Hebrews 2. Host isn't able to pull it up right now, and I'm driving. But if you just want to make your point over there and like kind of paraphrase or quote certain parts that you want to speak about, that's fine.
So in Hebrews 2 and 16, it talks about Jesus coming from the seed of Abraham. They specifically mention seed. And then it also says that it was, in so many words, I'm paraphrasing, but he was made to be like unto his brethren,
Right.
meaning he was made to be born in sex and interceding to a mother like the rest of his brothers.
No, that's not necessarily what that means. So when you look at made, it just means born. It doesn't mean conceived. It means born. And Jesus came from a woman, just like all his brethren did. But also, I got a question. Do you believe that Mary was from the seed of Abraham?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's no disagreements there, as far as with the virgin birth, there's no contradiction there. It's still in the same line.
I,
I said there's no
you saying,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm
go
talking
ahead.
to a coworker.
Okay.
I didn't see his flight, but you ain't seen one either, though. It probably wasn't. It might have been. With the Saints, the Max World. All right. Hello.
Hello? Yeah.
So basically, you're on the same page as me. You just basically got all the points that he got, and you trying to basically examine.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing when it says he took not on him the nature of angels, but on the seed of Abraham, that's Mary. When it says he was made like unto his brethren, that word made is born. So he was born like his brethren. All his brethren were born from a woman, right? So
So
nothing
Mary
in
had seed.
yeah, she did.
Mary had seed.
Yeah, because seed is child, right?
Seed is sperm.
So when it says seed of Abraham, that's the sperm of.
Yes, sir.
All right, so he took not on him the nature of angels, he took on the sperm of Abraham.
Seed line goes in with
So
the
you're saying,
gene.
okay, so Abraham is Jesus's father.
Oh well, I mean, as far as genealogy, that is that what you mean? Like as far as like bloodline, not
Yeah, but
direct about it.
if Jesus took on the sperm of Abraham, then Abraham's his biological father.
No, meaning he took on the seed of Abraham, meaning the bloodline being transferred from generation to generation, from Abraham
So
to Isaac to Jacob to Israel.
so seed there
With
means descendant, right?
yes, so one in the same, yes.
Okay, so it's descendant. So Mary's a descendant of Abraham. Yeah. Christ took on the offspring of Abraham. Came from Mary, right?
So, so you're saying that there was no father involved at all.
Well, God
The
was the
seed of
father.
David, the seed of Abraham, all that comes from Mary.
So remember, God was the father.
Hold
Yeah. So when we look at who caused Mary to become pregnant, you believe God can cause that? He can make that happen?
He could make that happen if he was making life to be made unto his brother. I believe that sex could happen.
Yeah, but the made there doesn't mean conceived. That's the only problem. So you're saying like made means, there's sex, but that's impossible because that word doesn't mean conceived like his brother. It means born. That's the only issue you run into when you go to Hebrews 2.
You said the only. I'm sorry, I missed that. You said the only issue was what?
That's the only issue you run into with Hebrews 2 is that word made means born. It doesn't mean conceived. If it meant conceived, it would be in your favor. But it just talking about born, and every man is
If,
born of a
if,
woman.
if in Hebrew tradition the seed is passed down from the father, I don't understand
Well,
how when we get to Matthews now it's Mary.
yeah, so that's the power of
If
God.
they if they if
God.
they if they mention they mention the genealogies of all the fathers before Joseph, and then down to Jesus. I mean, and then it switches to Mary out of nowhere.
Say that one more time.
I said, if Matthew 1 starts out with all the genealogy of the father, all the way down to Joseph, and then it switches to Mary at the last minute.
Right. That's exactly what it does. I agree.
Do you believe that?
Yeah. No. It's not what I believe. It's not like my preference. It's exactly what the scripture does. It just switches to Mary. Just leaves out Joseph.
So,
I mean, do you see Joseph begat Jesus in Matthew 1?
I mean, I would think that I wouldn't have to see that if they started off with the whole genealogy of Jesus and Joseph.
So
It
so do
wouldn't.
you see it? Let me ask you this. So you say you don't have to see it. Do you see begat for all the other fathers in the whole genealogy?
You saying does it use the word God in every genealogy explanation?
And yeah, for every father.
That I do not. I wouldn't know if I haven't like seen every genealogy.
Okay. Well, let me just say you some time. Literally every single father in Matthew 1 is said to begot the Son. There's no variation. The only one that's different is Christ. It's the only one. I got mine. Yeah, I got that. Right. So Christ is the only one that's different as far as the genealogy is concerned. No one begets Christ. Um, and did you know that? So in verse 1, it talks about the generations, right?
Mhm.
So that's one generation when it says this is the generation of Jesus. And then it goes on to speak about in verse 17, it lists that there's 42 generations all in Matthew 1, right? Oh, hey, give me like 5 quick minutes. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
We don't take it up. I've got like 12 paper cups. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, peace.
Hey,
So what is he looking for? What is the other brother looking for?
I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if he's looking for something. I think he just has to take care of something.
Okay, so
I'm not sure he was looking for something. I don't know.
okay.
Yeah, I'm doing something real quick. I'm not looking for nothing. Just give me
All
one
right,
second.
so brother Zamir, what was the last thing you said?
What was that? I think I was basically saying. I think the last thing I said was why would all the fathers in the genealogy of the Messiah Jesus Christ was mentioned all of the fathers before him, and then stopped at Joseph and said it's Mary, and put Mary in replacement of that
Okay,
God, and
so
completely excluding Joseph.
okay, so brother, as I said to you before, and I talked to you, so do you, okay, so you're asking why, and that's a good question. But do you acknowledge that Joseph is not a begotten father?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Huh? What was
So
that?
if he's not a begotten father, why is he?
Oh, no,
Why
no,
is
no,
he not?
no, no,
Why is
no, no.
he
Wait.
missing in the genealogy?
Okay, all right. But what I'm saying is, before you ask a why, you got to acknowledge the facts. So is the fact is it a fact that it does not say Joseph begot Jesus? Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Okay,
hold on
cool.
just a second. Let me just roll this in.
Okay, so brother, is Joseph married to Mary?
Hold on, just a moment. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, what was you saying? Sorry about that.
Joseph is
Hello.
listed here because he has connection with Mary, which is Jesus' mom. So Joseph is listed here because he's called a step-in daddy. Okay, so
What
once
is he
he,
called that?
brother, if you be the hell quiet, you ask for an answer, and I start, and you're talking. Okay, Moses, was his mom a step-in mom? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, well, you talking about the mother that sent him on a feed, or you talking about the mother that took him in?
Oh, so you acknowledge two mo so okay, so that's even more crazy. You acknowledge two mothers for Moses. You see how that works? So I mean, like
Now,
you answer,
I asked you for the sake of.
yeah, but brother, the question you asked me, you imply, or not, you did not imply. You stated two mothers for Moses. Yes. So when you raise up a boy or a girl as your own, you're considered the mother, whether it was your biological or not. That's your title, mother, and their title is son or daughter. So when once Pharaoh's daughter adopted Moses and became a step-in mother, the Bible says Moses became her son. Okay, so Joseph is listed in the genealogy of Jesus because it's going along with scriptures that you should marry your own tribe. So it's letting you know that Jesus' step-in father is from David, Judah, and his biological mother is from David and from lineage of David and the tribe of Judah. So it's saying nothing changed here, but it's showing you his step-in father because later on it's going to be said the father of Jesus was Joseph. So it's letting you know what type of father he is to Jesus. Okay? So it's showing you.
Oh yeah, every
Let me mute. Let me mute. Let me mute. Meet in the background. Yeah. So it's showing you what type of father Joseph is to Jesus. Is listing him as a father through marriage. Jethro is Moses' father through marriage. Okay, so the whys are fine, but the evidence doesn't change. The whys can change. You know, the whys can change. The why this, why that, but the evidence does not change. The evidence is Jesus is from the tribe of David. I'm sorry, from the tribe of Judah. He's from the line of David, and he's from the seed of Abraham, the descendants, not sperm, but descendants of Abraham. And he has a mother named Mary, and he does not have a biological father in his genealogy. You pointed out verse 1 says the genealogy. Beautiful, because Jesus is the only begotten, he's the only son without a begotten dad. He's the only son in his own genealogy where there's no listed father for him. That's a fact.
So,
The whys can change,
right.
the facts don't.
All right. So just to be clear, I'm just being clear. Jesus is the seed of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and David.
Yep.
With no biological father.
What is seed to you? I heard you say sperm earlier. Do you still stand by that?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I heard you say that you're confused on the word seed. I heard you say earlier that seed means sperm. Do you still stand by that?
Thank you too.
Zamir.
I didn't realize I was.
Yeah, I did.
Zamir, do you still stand by seed is sperm?
It's consent, yes.
Okay, so when Abraham was told in Genesis 15, verse 12, that his seed will serve 400 years in Egypt, do you believe that was his sperm serving 400 years? Or do you believe it was talking about human
The
beings?
children, meaning the children that came from his loins, yes.
Wait. So those children's okay. So the children that came 400 years later, well, I'm sorry, not 400 years, but the children, yeah, 400 years later, after Abraham came from Abraham loins.
What you said? Say it again.
Okay, there was a prophecy in Genesis 15. This is why it's important to know the Bible. Okay, so there's a prophecy in Genesis 15 where Abraham was told by the Most High that 400 years later, his descendants, human beings, but it says the word seed, they will be serving another people. They will be in bondage 400 years after Abraham. Okay. Do you believe that word seed still means sperm? Let's start with part 1.
Separating the term seed or sperm and descendant.
Oh, so now
that's one and the same.
Huh?
That's one and the same.
Oh, okay.
Seed
So
and descendant.
okay, no, relax. Sperm is okay. So when you ejaculate, is that a human being that just came out?
No.
Okay, so a human being and a substance that come out of men, a human being and a substance that come out of men, that's not the same thing, right?
Our genealogies and
brother, I'm asking you a whole different. I'm asking you a whole different, brother. Brother, stick your ADD kicking in. Stick to the question, okay? I'm asking you, when men pleasure themselves with a woman or by themselves, the substance that come out, is that the same as a human being, a whole living, breathing, eating, oxygen breathing thing, human being? Or is there a difference?
This is different.
All right. So when you read the word seed, you're not reading the word sperm. You're reading people, human beings who come after that man, whether
Where do
directly.
people come from?
Okay, hold up. Okay, brother. Where did Adam and Eve come from?
From the dust of the ground.
Say that
Well,
again.
Adam came from the dust of the ground. Eve came from Adam's rib.
Okay. Did they come from sperm? Hello? Did they come from sperm?
No,
Huh?
no,
Did they come from God?
yes.
Okay.
How does that make it sense?
Okay, because you just asked a question. You said, where do people come from? And I just answered it. They come from God. Okay. So Adam and Eve, but it's how they were made. So some people God will make from sperm and eggs, and other people will come from the ground, and other people will come from the Holy Spirit. So God has a plethora of ways, different ways how he bring about human beings. Okay. So, but what I want to hone in on is this, that the word seed does not mean sperm, as you just acknowledged. Okay. People are people and DNA is DNA. You spit in the ground, brother, that's your DNA. That's not a human being. If something come out your penis, that's DNA. That's not a human being. Okay. Blood that comes out your womb, you get cut, stabbed, unfortunately, or a needle coming to your arm. That's your DNA, but that's not a human being. All right. So when you read the seed of Abraham, the seed of David, it's not talking about their DNA. It's talking about children who descend from them. And brother, it can be direct children, like David had real children. Solomon's one of them, Nathan's another one. Or it can be descendants, right? And that means people who come after Solomon, after King David, who's not directly his biological kids. Especially like, I want to even say descendants start at like great grandchildren, like somewhere like far removed from you and your child and your child's child. Like that's when descendants start to come into play. Like people really down far in the lineage. So, but it can be anybody from their biological kids, from people far removed, thousands, hundreds of years after that person. But seed does not in no way, shape, or form mean sperm. Because if you go with that, I'm going to read Genesis 3:15, where it says Eve had sperm, seed. And you don't believe that, which I don't either. But
And
she
that,
had, huh? But Eve had descendants.
it up, huh? Feel like a whole new motherfucker.
But but Eve had descendants, and that's all seed means. All right. Hey, Meech, so you want to take over?
Oh no, I'm just listening. I kind of wanted
When he
to
says the
take
seed
him
of the
over.
mother, it's about his children and as far as they're like.
I'm gonna go on mute because I gotta get this kid to sleep.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, what'd you say, man?
I kind of have to go to this.
You got to go?
Yeah, because oh snap! I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm in the mood right now.
Oh, okay. So if you got to head out, that's cool, man. We'll talk later.
Starting to break. Hello.
Hello? Yeah.
It's starting to break up real. Sorry.
I don't know. I think that might be my connection.
What?
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah, you sound robotic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to link up with y'all a little bit later. I'm heading into work right now, so that's probably why my connection bad.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
I enjoy the dialogue. Please, no hard feelings, anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hit us back up when you're not working, so we can pull out some stuff, pull out some precepts.
So
Yeah. What time tomorrow?
Yeah, I got time tomorrow.
What time
Anytime.
tomorrow, Zamir? Yeah. So
hello.
he's the one. Yeah. So Zamir's the one breaking up.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes. Now I can't find what for my phone. Is it?
Yeah. He's the one breaking
Yeah,
up.
Zamir.
Yeah.
Zamir, did you want to link up tomorrow? And if so, what time?
Tomorrow. Kind of busy tomorrow. Um, let's say around 3 o'clock. We'll see if I'm free around 3 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, that sounds good. All right, man. We'll catch you later then.
All right, catch you later.
He look like he walking a yellow brick road. My man had his Snoop Dogg Converses on. Yeah, the seed doctrine doesn't go well for these guys.
Yeah, but he agreed with me that Mary was from the seed of Abraham, so I don't even know why he was hearkening on seed over in Hebrews 2. I was so confused. I thought we were going to be able to move forward a little bit.
Yeah, so they're either going back watching a, a video from Israelite United in Christ, or somebody's in their ear, but they're afraid to come on.
Mm.
They're gonna make him the fall guy. I bought a new bottle for my son, and he will not drink out of it, man.
A whole new bottle?
Yeah, new milk bottle.
You know what you got to do? You got to drink it and then give it to him or act like you're drinking it.
I tried that, man. This
Um,
guy he act like he act like this bottle is like the the blood of Satan is in there. He run from that thing.
or the seed of David is in
All this Paul stuff going on, man.
there. Oh man. Yeah, I also told him this is what they think when they read Hebrews 2. They think that when it says made is talking about conceived. And I had to set him straight. Like, no, it's just talking about being born, not being conceived. I think if we go that route, is the burden of proof is on them to show, that means something else.
Now it actually does mean born. I did it with one guy, and I just um it just goes over right. It goes over their head, man.
Yeah, but if Jesus wasn't different, why would the scripture have to say that he was made like his brethren? It doesn't say that about Moses. It doesn't say that about Isaiah. It only says that about Jesus.
And you know what? When you was talking to the guy last night, when you guys were going over, damn, it just slipped my mind. I was just about to say it. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Made, born. Oh my God, I hate that. It'll come back. You guys were talking about something. I almost chimed in. So we just said made. Was talking about born.
Conceived.
And damn, that's bad.
Yeah, that guy was off the wall last night, bro.
So you guys were talking about something in the Old Testament that I was gonna chime in. But I said nah. Um, so
Oh, Old Testament, Deuteronomy.
nah. It has something to do with being made, born. It has something with that. It has something to do with that. Then I had it and it went right out of my mind.
Hmm.
He's making a big mistake on something he kept saying. Damn, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't get it.
So I know we went there. We went to Isaiah, right? Or no, we didn't. No, you spoke about it in passing. Um,
Let's see. Made. Let's see. Born. It means born.
oh, you talking about First John 4:2?
What does that say?
Everyone who denies that Jesus Christ came in the flesh is not of God.
Nah, it wasn't that.
Okay, okay.
That's
I didn't even want to address that because I'm like, bro, even though I'm talking about the virgin birth, still talking about the incarnation.
yeah.
So I don't know how that had any relevance.
That was retarded. Okay, so Hebrews 2:16. Yeah, I don't. I think I was going along the line to say I don't focus on born to the ghost out there. Mine, I focus more on um Jesus. I mean, he came to get aid, and then they
That
they
still detracts though. They're still gonna be like, well, yeah, but how is he made? Like they're still gonna go back there.
nah
So I think,
nah because
yeah.
I'm telling from my experiences. When I explain it
Oh,
that way, I got hella plethora recorded videos. I really don't get any. I had one guy try to challenge that, and I said, "Go ahead," and he was just quiet, and then he changed it to another passage. He went somewhere else. But
yeah.
and plus we got the different translations, okay, and they all say aid. The different English they all say aid except for the King James.
Well,
So
you should do a concordance search on the word like, the word in Greek. Because I'm almost positive that's used in parables.
so um,
You know, when Jesus says the sower is like unto the Son of Man, or uh, I'm just paraphrasing. That's probably not what it says,
yeah,
but I believe this. Yeah,
I was telling Tone something earlier when I had a debate earlier. And I was telling Tone, I said, when you talk to these guys, bro, you gotta pretend you're talking to a 7-year old. And any explanation that you believe in 7, 8-year old can't comprehend, you pretty much don't want to bring that to any Israelites. So you try to make it as simple as a 7-year old, 8-year old can pretty much get or at least a little bit follow where you're going. If you can't make it easy as that, you might find difficulty, you might find resistance. But if
yeah,
you can reword it and package it where if you're talking to 8 and 9-year old and they could kind of like, oh, I get it, then you think you could do something with the Israelite. But if you try to define too many words for these guys, you're gonna lose it. And just try it. Like you'll see yourself because you talk to them yourself. You'll see yourself talking about that for an hour. Something that's
yeah,
supposed to be like, oh, okay, I get it. It ended up being an hour conversation. Um, I kind of for me when I talk to these guys, I try to avoid the hour-long distractions because I know that that's what they want to do. They want to talk to everything. They want to talk about everything but the virgin birth. And they definitely don't want to talk about Matthew 1:16. They definitely don't want to talk about that. That's why
yeah,
they'll try to get you away from that as soon as possible because that's one of their biggest stumbling blocks. So they go to Hebrews 2:16, and I don't argue about the flesh part because that's obvious. The word John 1:1, John 1 and 6:18, one of those verses tell you about the word was made in the flesh. So that's nothing to argue about. But it was like the way I explained it, it was big news for the word to become flesh. Because that was never done before. So that's why it was emphasized so much in the Bible from the righteous quoting, "Hey, Christ came in the flesh." That was like they was impressed. Like, wow, he did it for us, to save us. So when they quote that themselves, like, yeah, he came in the flesh. Like, dude, yeah, I don't. He didn't come down to be a spirit. Okay, he came down to be just like to look and partake in the same body that we
Right.
and partook. And verse 14 tells you that. It said he came down to be partakers. Like he came down like the children to become partakers in flesh. And then I say, it doesn't say he came down like his brethren to take on a mommy and daddy. It says to partake in flesh and blood.
Right. Yep.
And like when I put it that way, I'm telling you, I have not got not a pushback when I make it clear. It didn't say mommy and daddy. It says flesh and blood. Okay, that's what it says. And when I explain like that, I don't really get much pushback from the guys I talk to, because I'm making it like a 7-year-old can understand. Flesh and blood, mommy and daddy, two different things that Christ is going to be. And they kind of just let it go. And then 16, where he did not come down. It doesn't mean he was going to be an angel. It just means he didn't come to help angels. They don't need help. Just the seed of Abraham needs help.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that
then
fits more in the context.
and then they make a big deal about, yeah, but Jesus Christ, uh if he did all that, how can we be like him? Like, yo, Jesus Christ didn't come down here for you to be like him. They do. Like, you got where'd you get that from? He came down to, I mean, it tells you in Hebrews 2:16, well, Hebrews 2. He came down flesh and blood to conquer death. So sin could stop reigning. That's what he did. What human being can be born and die and conquer death? Nobody.
Right.
So it took Jesus to come down to die, and by dying, he's going to conquer death by living again. See, death wins because you die and don't come back. But Jesus died and came back. So death is like, oh shit, we lost.
Mm-hmm.
We took our first L. So now people are not going to be afraid to die. Which is interesting. But then I can't think about what the guy said that was
I know
like,
we went to Judges, or not Judges, Joshua.
oh,
My
what
whole
happened?
point, because they always say like, oh, just because God can do it doesn't mean He did. Yeah, or it was something about like, oh, this only happened once, therefore, if it only happened once, it's speculative whether it even happened. And my point was that, well, God has done things only once before and not again for anyone else. And I went to when God had stood the sun still so that Joshua had more time to conquer his enemies. He wanted to explain the whole thing. I was like, brother, do we agree that God made the day longer? He was like, yes. I was like, there's no need to explain. This is not a class. I'm just giving you an example so we don't get too far off.
Hmm.
And yeah, that was my point, was that, it was something that was outside of the norm, outside of the norm of the world. God did it. It said He did it, and that was it. That's all you need. You only need it to happen once for it to be true. It's funny. They always like, well, do you got 3 precepts that Christ didn't come from Joseph and da da da? Well, I got one. Isn't one enough?
Yeah, they're under this cult indoctrination, so that's what they believe is good enough. That's their requirements, the standards. And God made a donkey talk, you know, one time. He didn't do it again, so it never happened.
Right. Yeah, he
Samson.
didn't do that again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Samson, he gave Samson strength. Nobody else was giving strength like Samson.
right. So Samson was another one-off. Like there are so many one-offs in the Bible. What about Gideon?
Right. God allowed Gideon with 300 soldiers to conquer 10,000.
So you got Gideon, you got Moses, right? Um,
Hmm.
what he what he did with the
Moses saw God's glory.
right, and my man had the finger of death on his side.
Right.
Uh, the list goes on. Abraham had the token of circumcision. Like, what's the next man's token that was upon Israel forever, physically?
Right.
So, like, these are just stupid things that they mention just to try to discredit. And it's like you got to read this stuff over and over, not me. Okay, so
Hmm.
the God cursed this serpent how many times? Was it twice or was it once? How many times Solomon lost his throne?
Right. Once.
How many times David committed adultery? So it's like it's
Once.
retarded.
Right. Yeah, and it's like they fall into that realm of trying to debunk something while not also understanding that, hey, you don't even hold this same standard. So you can't bring an objection that also objects to your belief system. And it's so funny. I see Christians debating Muslims, and bro, they're using certain arguments. I'm like, bro, God literally did that in the Old Testament. Like, how can you have that as an objection towards Islam if God also did that? I mean, it's
Like,
stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, I would say this, man. Unless you know that damn Quran, that's gonna be an instant L with those Muslims. I mean, like unless they go into the Bible, then you might have you could win that battle.
Nah, I just be seeing a bunch of guys that actually really know the Quran, know the Hadiths, and all that stuff. Some of them know Arabic, like guys like Rob Christian, of course, got Logic, and some of his other guys that kind of look at some of that stuff. It's so funny. Their cop out is, oh, you don't know Arabic, and they get an Arabic speaker on there. They're like, oh,
Now, but you know what? Some of that stuff be wrong. Um,
yeah, hmm,
so some of the Christian guys, when they show me when I look at the stuff that they're presenting, I mean, it's like they kind of embarrass themselves. I'm like, and like
mm,
people that have a good defense of Islam can see that, and they can definitely be like, nah, that's not saying that. I heard some of these arguments, and it's almost like the same arguments people have with the 101 contradictions. It's like, oh, that was weak. That's not really a contradiction. It appears that way. So people, do you know there's 101 Muslim contradictions?
yeah,
Okay, so there's one of those too, and not all those are contradictions.
right. Some of them are just misunderstandings, like with the scripture, or some of them actually hurt them because they're some of the contradictions are from the variants, some of the variants that they have. There's one that actually really cuts them. Like I've heard it, and I'm like, man, that's actually a huge cut, and they don't even realize it. It was I think so. The question was Muhammad speaking or was Allah speaking? And he says, and you were surprised Allah was speaking to Muhammad. And then in another one it says, I was surprised. So Allah was surprised. If that's the case, then their God learns knowledge. Because God is never surprised or shocked by anything. He's not learning. But they
Yeah,
might have a different view on that, But
yeah.
but
So I got a friend that when I debated on the 40 chariots and the 4,000 stalls, which he kind of didn't get, but the 4,000 stalls, it can fit each stall can fit a horse and chariot. So he was kind of missing that. He kept confusing stalls with chariots. So it's like, dude, yeah. So that's what I was explaining to him. Like, dude, a stall is huge, a chariot is small. So you only need 4,000 stalls for 40,000 chariots.
Right. But yeah, it's funny because I'm one of those that I'll watch a debate. I'll have that viewpoint of somebody, but then I'll be like, man, they did terrible, you know? So I feel like winning a debate isn't about proving the point true or false. It's just about stating your claim.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hear some the Christian debates, and I think a lot of it be just be chasing just for like so some of the guys not as far as I know, David Wood and them, as far as I know, do a good job. But I believe other guys, yeah, I think David Wood and them will crush the average Muslim and maybe some imams. But other guys, I believe like they're doing a bad job. They're doing a bad job. Like they're catching Muslims that don't really know that much, and they're getting them. No different than Israelites catching Christians. You know, it's the same like tactic. It's like gotcha stuff. Like they're not actually correct. Like David Wood and them pride themselves on being correct, not gotcha stuff. So that's why like I will there's other guys out there doing good too, but I can only tell you about David Wood and they're called Christian apologetics. I can only tell you about them. It's called Acts. I think their channel's called Acts. Acts something. I remember it's Acts something apologetics, something like that. But people don't got a basic understanding of Islam. It's a wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap.
I'm still here. I'm just ordering McDonald's. And that's it. Hey, arigato. Ordering food for my friend. Him and his wife at the hospital just gave birth. I'm the food runner right before work. So dude wasn't hitting me up. So I'm just ordering everything.
Oh,
Hey, arigato. I'm just ordering everything off the menu right now.
yeah.
Hey, thank you. Oh, that's not bad. Bro, I ordered 3 combos and a 10-piece nugget and a coffee, and that was like $22.
Damn. Yo,
Yeah.
is this one guy keep harassing me? He called in and he said he'll call back, and he never did. Like this is earlier. He called in for just a few moments. He was at work. He said, "Man, I'm gonna call back in later."
Yeah. And you never called back in?
Nah,
Hmm.
it's very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's my guy that's in California? So a lot of guys be in California time too.
Oh, yeah. That's will probably be having you up late sometimes.
Hmm.
Hey, did you
Sorry, I think for your place over there.
hey, arigato. Oh man, I'm definitely about to be late for work.
I had went over the Greek participles, aorist, and I think the other ones, I think present.
Oh,
Yeah,
participle, yeah.
I went over there. That was a good lesson.
Yeah, the participles are either the ing words or the ed words. That's how I understand it. I think that's how Blue Letter broke it down.
Yeah, it's an easy shortcut way to let you know which one you're dealing with in the sentence.
Hmm. It's either going to be the present tense verb or the past tense.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah, I
good
haven't
one.
had any exercises for that, like in my Greek books yet. So I'm waiting on those. Right now, I'm just that's why it takes me so long to look at the Hebrew, because basically I have a different type of Hebrew workbook than I do for my Greek, and the Hebrew is a lot of translating. So I just had to remember these paradigms, and I'm translating, and then I'm able to read the next chapter. But the translations are like, bro, they're like 4 or 5 pages, and it's not easy, but moving forward.
Yeah. I've just been just trying to memorize like certain syntax rules, like the basic stuff before I go anywhere. So I want to memorize the pronouns. I want to memorize the next level is the plural pronouns and the plural articles. That's I got to memorize that, and then the plural.
The plural pronouns like uh hemes, humes, all those.
Yeah, got to memorize.
Yeah.
I got to memorize. Oh, yeah, the article. I got to memorize the plural articles.
Yeah. Those are straightforward for the most part. I think it's what is it? It starts with uh hoi, masculine, high, feminine, and tol for the neuter, and it just goes through that.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, because do those articles help you if you're just reading Greek and you have like a third declension that has the different ending? It'll just tell you straight away, oh, this is what it is. Like,はい、ありがとうございます。Yeah, bro, I'm really hoping this dude does not make me get out of the car and go take him this food. I will definitely be late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, what do y'all want? He didn't text me, so I just ordered a few different things. But bro, if you don't text me back, I'm leaving this at the hospital desk. But hey, this food for such and such.
Um, I tell you that seed thing bothers them big time.
Yeah, if you don't accept C, they'll argue that to the death of them.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, why it seem like when you turn to hop on the road and you got like space, that the person behind you just starts speeding up.
Yeah.
Like, I be feeling personally attacked, bro. I be like, bro, chill.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, did you look at that? I made that clip. Did you look at that earlier?
Which one?
Oh, go to your messages. I sent it to your messages.
All right, hold on. Oh, you must have just made it.
Yeah, because what makes it worse, bro, is he not only paused the first time, he paused the second time too. Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah. But I was trying to get this one guy to call in. I said, nah, you could just listen. I'm gonna tell him because he ain't.
Yeah,
I ain't know that damn late.
yeah. It's what 12:40 over there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Are you about to jump off?
Yeah. I'm gonna eat and then go right to sleep.
Yeah, might as well, man.
Yeah. Just get my little 8 hours in. Keep it going
Yes,
tomorrow.
sir.
All right. So it's got a plethora of guys tomorrow. All right. And we'll have some repeat offenders because they want to come back on for that reason.